All right, we are live. Hey, you guys, welcome back. I know we got a lot to talk about, and I got your girl Bree on the line. Yay!
Hey, everybody.
I know
Live from
normally
Florida.
I didn't hear you. Go ahead. What'd you say?
Live from Florida.
Live from Florida. I heard that it's headed over to like parts of Texas. Is that true?
Actually, it's moving its way up. Supposed to be up to Georgia, to Atlanta later on today.
Okay.
So here in Georgia, this is prepare yourself. But it's kind of normal out now. Kids are playing in the streets and people arguing. It's Florida.
Okay. Well, that's good that you guys are good down in Florida. That's good. Hey, LaShanta. Hey, Myra. Hey, Jenny. Janet. How you guys doing? Hey, Debbie. All of the soapies are coming in. Hey, Aisha. Aisha said all of them pissed her off. All of who, Aisha?
Ooh, what happened?
I don't know. Who got under your skin, Aisha? Myra, Melissa Spencer, Indigo Blue, Crystal, Cheryl, welcome in, Patricia, T.A. Hey, Carol. Hello. How many people in the chat, Bree?
I'm trying to pull it up. It's not showing on my side yet. The live is on. I have to come in and come out. 1 second, y'all.
Oh gosh, Bobby said he missed 90% of Bold. You really?
He said okay, 33 people.
Oh, let's go. All right, welcome you guys to the Midday Soap Chat. I got a special guest star and one of our hostess with the mostest. She's on with us in the midday. I got Bree, you guys.
Hola. Hey, everybody. A lot to talk
about. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to do Bold first because Young and the Restless is what really is going to take up probably the pod today. So, yeah, I'm excited. But make sure you guys come on in and hit that like button. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. And, make sure that you comment, and we like having you over here. Hey, Sandra. Hey, Janet. Blackpink Me. Medora. Veronica. Delmonica.
See, everybody was ready.
Yeah, they were ready.
46 people.
Listen, we hyped it up last night. Remember we was talking about, oh, yeah, y'all got to watch Thursday's episode of The Young and the Restless. Oh, yeah, Young and the Restless is going to be it. Well, we going to talk about it.
But did we disappoint?
No. Well, I'm going to get a rating. Don't worry about that. We're going to go ahead and get Bold out the way. All I can say, and if you guys saw my title, for somebody that want to keep a secret, they're not really doing a good job at it because she does not have a great poker face.
No, at all.
I mean, you got everybody from Ridge to Steffy to Brooke. Like, something's off with her.
Yeah. And I don't understand why she's going to keep it a secret for long. If you have heart issues, you're not going to be able to hide that well at all, especially if you're not taking any medication. So, I mean, I really don't know what to say about this situation. And the thing that gets me is she is taking the word of her doctor and not a specialist. She says she hasn't even seen a cardiologist yet.
Exactly.
So I'm not. Yep. So, I mean, it could be a completely different reason altogether, but she's going based off of what her general practitioner said. And not to say that they're wrong, but if they're telling you have a specific heart issue, I would try to get second, third, fourth opinions before they make a definitive answer that I'm up and out of here.
Here's the crazy thing about this particular storyline, because there are people that can, and even Jenna said this in the last couple of episodes or the last couple of chats that we've been in, is that type of heart condition, people can live for years. Now, I don't know how bad this is, but the writing around it is just terrible.
Yeah, especially since she only seen one person outside of the country and that's all she's going based off of. And on top of that, she's walking around out of breath and like look like she about to fall over. And I'm like, lady, if you try to enjoy every little bit and you don't want anybody to suspect anything, go get yourself checked up. Like I would have, like the very next day, if Lee was able to get me an appointment to go see a cardiologist, that's where I'm going to be at.
Yeah, I don't. This whole thing is ridiculous. And did you see what I put in the group chat? That message of that article that I clipped that she did an interview.
Yep, I did. I was like, huh.
Yeah, why would she say that? Exactly. And so here's my thoughts with you on this, Bree. I was thinking about this earlier. I'm wondering if the writers are testing her out. So they bring her over with this storyline, and if people really like her and gravitate to her, maybe at the 11th hour they'll figure out something that helps save her, a transplant or something. If the fans really are not gravitating to her, maybe they end the character. Do you think that this might be a little bit of a test run in your? I mean, we're just having a thought, opinion, or whatever you want to call it.
I think that they are. I think they're trying to see who she would mesh well with, and I think that they're trying to trying to see how they can shake up this Taylor character, because I mean, there's only so much they can really do. Mm-hmm. I'm just surprised they want to go like the Eric route, to be honest.
Yeah, that's interesting. When I saw that, I'm like, if y'all about to end the character, why is she saying you need to watch out? Meaning, and yeah, that's weird. So
yeah. And plus, I can't see them having chemistry like that. Like, I can see if they put her with Bill, like that. I mean, test her out with Bill. That would be interesting to watch. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I thought I'd toss that out at you, but yeah, if she's trying to hide this, she's not doing a good job of it. People are looking at her like, something wrong with you. Something's off here. You giving away little hints and how you're saying things, and and I mean, Ridge was like, what's going on with you? And even when she was talking to Steffy and she was looking at Ridge's picture, that look on Steffi's face like, what is this?
Right. And she, which time? Because Steffy caught her in the same moments twice, at the house and in the office.
Exactly.
So it's like she is being, I don't want to say passive aggressive, but I think if someone tries to like beat her down to get an answer, I think that's when she'll maybe open up. But either which way, like, it's to the point where, okay, honey, you need to say something, or at least go see these cardiologists so they can figure out what's going on with you.
Exactly. And the thing is, the more that she continues to make all these cryptic statements and things like that, and she don't want nobody to know what's going on, people are going to be like, I'm sorry, something's not right with you, you're acting different. So which questions do you want? Do you want people to hassle you, asking you, are you okay all the time because you're not acting yourself? Or do you just want to be honest and just accept the fact that people are probably going to feel some type of way, of course, of the shock of it all, and just get the support that you need? Because, right, she's not, it'll be different if she came back, happy, go lucky, and, full of excitement and happy. I mean, even Brooke says she don't look like she's happy.
Yeah, she looks very, what got it for me was the fact that she looks out of breath. Every scene, she's always grabbing her chest and her throat. And I'm like, that's a dead giveaway that something's going on with you medically. But there's 3 people now in a matter of days who sees there's something's off with you. So at this point, you either share it or you try to get treatment so you can at least pull it off a little bit better.
Right. Maybe they can give her something. There's medications out there for that.
Exactly. That's why I don't understand why she's just going based off of just a general practitioner. Go see these specialists. She got the money to go see 5 of them. Go see however many. So, and if it's conclusive, then it's conclusive. Okay. But if it's something that's treatable, so you can actually live your life, while you're talking about like, oh, they have such a long life ahead of them, then, focus on your life and see what's going on with you. You might be able to live the same amount of time. You never know. But what she's doing ain't working.
Well, it speaks to the volume of the writing. I mean, if you wanted her to have a terminal illness, you remember they gave Steffy a terminal illness. You know what I mean? When they got ready to, when she got ready to retire, Susan Flannery. But, I mean, at least make it make sense. It's kind of like, and I don't know if I want to say the equivalency, but, the way it's written, I'll just say it like that. The way it's written, it's like, I got a cold and I'm about to die. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, but you can go get treated. You know what I'm saying? It's the way that they're writing it, per se. Again, they're not giving a lot of context on how bad the situation is. Is it because of the fact that Sheila pew-pewed her in the heart at that time and it did damage early in her youth, and why she's having a hard time with, the condition of it? Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. And actually, it'll be an interesting twist if they threw that in there. Mm-hmm. And I would also throw Steffy and Finn in the loop, too. Mm-hmm. Like, there's just different layers they can add on to this particular storyline if they wanted to. Mm-hmm. But what they're doing so far, I don't really understand what the direction would be. So I just know she's just not really pulling any of this off all that well. No. If she doesn't want people to suspect her, I mean, a cat can see that there's something wrong with her.
Well, here's the other thing. Her grandkids, just say she started running around playing with them, or grandma, chase us, or da-da-da-da, whatever. I mean, you're going to have to try. She just need to go. See how bad it is. What caused it? Was it because she said, according to her, she used to work out and stuff. Is this a situation dealing with the damage that she had from the, what Sheila did to her? And then it could maybe give us a little bit more perspective. And then now she needs to figure out what to do next. Even if she doesn't, she told Lee. But I would assume that because her daughter is making all these future plans, and you looking in her face, and you just like, yeah. I'm like, that's not fair to Steph either.
No, it's not. But I
know. Yeah, I know. But we're talking the compound, so yeah, I get you. I get you.
No, I do get that. And the thing is, I think she's also, didn't they say she's a humanitarian? So she's been off in like different countries. Mm-hmm. I had like some people who were in the military who had like COPD. Mm-hmm. From like in stuff that they were breathing in the air. Like there's just different things that could have like gave her that diagnosis, but they're just saying like, I had a checkup and my doctor said that, yeah, I'm not gonna make it. There needs to be more. And it makes me wonder, will we get like a cardiologist character or something that would kind of like, or unless they're going to automatically make Bridget a cardiologist magically, and she's a specialist.
Who knows, girl? All I know is that Taylor is not doing a good job of this. She wants to keep it a secret, but she has no poker face. So if you want to keep this a secret, go talk to a specialist, see what your options are. Who knows? They might give you a different prognosis, and then that would lift your spirits, and you can move differently.
Right. Because I don't see why she wants to open up a practice.
Who want to open up? But she said I missed that part. She wanted to open up a practice?
She said it a few times that she wants to open up her practice in LA.
Okay. Girl, you need to go to a practice and get checked up.
Yes. Am I going crazy, y'all? Didn't she say that when she came back that she was going to try to reopen up her practice again in LA and grow some roots or put some roots down or something. Didn't she say that?
I'm trying to see if anybody respond. I'm maybe I missed it, but let's just take what you probably caught it, girl. But I guess just go to the doctor and let them figure it out, see what's going on, and then if they got options, let them explore the options. But obviously, this is going to be a drawn out situation. So.
Okay, so I wasn't crazy. Everyone's saying that she did.
Yeah.
For everyone saying she did.
Yep, I figured. I said, you probably did miss it. I know I did. We did see a little bit of conversation between RJ and Will. Do they seem to be cool with each other as cousins?
I'm like, RJ have an issue with all of his cousins. like all Will did was like try to talk about Luna. I mean, that would be something they could have like a deep conversation about. Like, hey, like, and they said lunatic Luna. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna ask that. I was like, so they've been listening to the fans because we've been calling her lunatic Luna, and then he threw that in there. How'd you know that Luna was a lunatic? I'm like, really?
Yeah,
y'all ain't slick.
Exactly. I mean, we thank you for listening. I listened to some of these suggestions, but yeah, RJ got an issue with all of his cousins. Like ever since he's been on the show, he has an issue with somebody. First, he had an issue with Thomas, and then he had an issue with Zende, and now he has an issue with Will.
Will seemed like he's more like Bill. Did you hear him on the phone talking to Donna when Donna tried to hook him up? And he was like, yeah, who? Oh, well, I'm going to have to call you back. And then he hung up and said, not.
Oh, my goodness. I found it really funny how she suggested that for Will and not for RJ.
Yeah. Well, I think he's a little bit edgier to me. They're trying to make Will edgier, it seems.
I think he's just kind of more just laid back. He's very Nick Newman.
He's very outspoken. I mean, look how he tried. In the sense of dealing with Bold. Look how he was talking to his dad when he first came on, and I mean, how he handled that whole phone call and stuff like that. I'm like, they making him kind of snippy.
Yep, he just, I don't know, maybe some of that time away from overseas was just, that he felt he entitled to say whatever he want to say. I don't know. I just know it's something I couldn't do. But yeah, he's very snippy and combative when he talks.
Yeah, Jenna said they're going to be rivals. Absolutely. I can see it coming. And here's the other thing I forgot to mention yesterday, Bree, when we were on the midweek chat. When Katie tried to ask him to work at Forrester, and I'm like, do you really think that Bill, and I'm glad, Will was like, you do realize that Dad is going to want me to work at Spencer. Yeah,
and I'm like, Katie, you're just an employee over at Forrester.
Exactly.
Whereas Will Spencer, he has nothing to ever worry about. That position, any position there is his. That is his family company. That's his family name. And I'm like, and plus, what is Will going to do over there?
Yeah, what is he going to do at Forrester? I would love for you to come over to Forrester. And I'm like, why? That's the first, when she said that yesterday, and I forgot to bring it up. I'm like, why would you want him over there? You were working PR. If that company was to shut, that company is going to Ridge or hopefully some of the other Forresters, right? But hopefully, but Will Spencer should be at Spencer with his brothers, I would think.
Yeah, that. I don't know why she even suggested that. Like, my question is, doing what? What is his skill set? We don't even know his age. We don't know if he just graduated college. Is he in college? Like, would he be an intern? Would he be applying for a job? Like, we don't know any of this regarding Will, but she wants to try to get him a job over there. I'm like, wouldn't you want him to have a guarantee position over at Spencer? And plus, I mean, Bill doesn't have Liam working over there, so maybe he can fill and do Liam's job.
Wait, Liam is work. Well, he's still technically part of Newman. Lord, he's still technically part of Spencer. He's still technically part of Spencer because he claimed he worked from home. Remember?
We don't ever see it. We see no. I don't believe that man works. And until I see a computer, until I see him in a suit, until I see him over at Spencer Publications, any of those three, this man does not work. We see him eating at El Giardino every chance he gets, and we see him at everybody else's job.
Now you know that man working. He came over to Forrester to connect one of the Brook bedroom line with a publication piece that they were doing at Spencer. That was one of the reasons Liam came over there about 3 or 4 weeks ago. That man has a job. They just don't never show us that he's working.
I don't believe this man is working. He needed any excuse just to go over to Forrester and see Steffy. I think that's the only reason he takes certain things over there is to go see Steffy. Other than that, because every time he goes over, he doesn't ever talk about his job. He goes and talks about what's going on with Finn, what's going on with Steffy, what's going on with Hope, everything else but his job.
He was just talking about closing the deal. What was that? Not this week, but the week before, when he was over there asking Bill about the whole Poppy situation. They started off with him talking about did you close that deal? When he was telling that to Liam. So Bree, I know I say it all the time. It doesn't look like he's working, but he does have a job over at Spencer.
Well, it's invisible like his daughter Beth. I don't until I see it. It's hard for me to believe it, but I'll take your word for it. And I'm glad they putting these little tidbits in there about him closing deals. So they do listen to the podcast. So because we all been wondering, so they threw that in there. But this man ain't got no job, in my opinion. He too busy eating at El Giardino and too busy going to everybody else's job with his line of questioning. Nothing to do with his job. Nothing work related at all.
Jenna says that he runs the advertising over at Spencer Publications. The advertising division of the company, according to her. But I don't know his exact title, but I do know that he still works there.
So he was dropped down from being president, from vice president. Now he's just running advertisement. I'm sorry.
Yep. But I will say that going back to today's episode, did you see Bill trying to get Katie back with him?
This woman has gotten on my nerves. Wasn't it just a couple months ago she was doing all this crying over at Eric's house with her sisters and be like, I've never loved anybody like Bill before.
I know.
Like I missed him. I missed him. I missed our family. We had so much together. And then here's this man basically at her footsteps and saying like, look, I want to get back together. And she's like, I don't know, Bill. I don't know. We shouldn't get into this. Lady, you put on Nancy Drew attire. You were doing all of this investigation. And then you put an innocent woman in jail because you wanted this man back. Now all he can think about you, because he forgot all about Poppy. He ain't even remotely thinking of this woman whatsoever.
Yeah, that's
all about Katie.
Yeah, that's the thing about the situation with Katie. She wanted that woman out of his life, and then now that she's gone, then you want to play coy. You're trying to be demure. I'm like, oh well, and then I mean they threw Will into it, and Will was like, well, is this what you want? And she's still looking like, well, I don't know what to say, girl. Just go get that man. He fine. Go get him.
Yes, he is. He's been getting finer as this man has gotten older. I think he's 60.
Yeah,
Oof.
he's 60. That man is well over 6 feet. He's muscular, got abs for days. You ain't had none in a while since you broke up with Carter. So you might
no
as
reason.
well. I mean, the man is like, look, I want you. All you got to do is say yes, Katie. Just go on and get this over with, and don't drag us down this slow road about her trying to, well, I don't know, and just go get him.
And I'm like, what is she being hesitant about? This woman was just crying in Eric's living room about how she can't be with this man, how she wants this man, and like he's the only man that she's ever known who's loved her, who understands her, who gets her, and then she's hesitating. Why? Because there's no other competition. And this is why I feel when it comes to the Logans, they only want a man when it's competition for him.
Mm-hmm.
This is how I feel about with Hope too. Whenever like Liam was only a prize whenever she was competing with Steffy for him. And then when she had him all to herself, she got bored, and that's why she cheated.
Yep. Well, Jenna in the chat says that Bill is too fine for her.
I agree. He did, like, at least Poppy wanted him. It's just unfortunate it wasn't reciprocated, and I knew it. That man never said "I love you" not once. Never even like hinted that he had any real genuine feelings for her. Nothing.
Mm-hmm. And I can guarantee you, if it was Brooke or somebody else and they was interested, like Katie has been moving, they wouldn't hesitate. Shoot, Brooke would have been already up in the bedroom.
Yeah, I agree. Now, Shanta, you said Katie loves to be chased. She's being chased now, and she's being hesitant. Now, she likes the competition. She likes to try to throw her weight in and try to compete for a man with another woman. That's why she had no problem with her little arguments, her little spats with Poppy. But now that Poppy's out the picture and she has him all to herself, now she's acting like she doesn't want him.
Yep. And then before we switch over to Young and the Restless, the only other storyline is this conversation between Hope and Steffy about Ridge. And I'm like, Steffy, why are you going back and forth about that? Why? You don't want to play matchmaker, and Ridge is already signed up to be with Brooke. Let it go.
This is a pointless conversation between these two. Like, for yesterday's episode, she's like, well, my mom is not going to be making a play for Ridge, and they were like, okay, and then now she's like, oh, my mom still loves Ridge, and Ridge loves my mom, and Hope is like, well, he loves my mom. Like, it was a pointless, dead end discussion. Like, no one, like, who cares? Mm-hmm. Who cares? Mm-hmm. Both of these women love playing this broken record with this man for over 30 something years. It's just Brooke's turn.
Exactly. And it's like, Steffy, she already told you, yeah, she loved a man, but she's not trying to be with him. So just let it go. Well, now that my mom is back, you know how he feels about my mom. Why would you even want to? That whole scene was just pointless. It made no sense. I didn't understand why they even put that in there. Just to have a little bit of some type of confrontation this week, because the last 3 days have been pretty much boring. I mean, I've been looking at the social media comments across Soap social media, and everybody has not been liking these last 3 days at all. Some people are saying, I didn't watch it, I went to sleep on it, it was boring. So I don't know, hopefully the ratings, they'll get to see something and be like, maybe we shouldn't have started out like this.
I feel their pain. I think I said last night, I was struggling trying to figure out what happened. this week, and it was the same thing, copy and paste, literally copy and paste. They said the same thing, only different. They added a couple different people in certain scenes, and that was it. Yeah. So that's why I said they need a real direction when it comes to this storyline. But oh well.
Yeah. All right, we gotta talk, Sharon. How many people in the chat, girl?
We have 100 people in the chat.
Ooh, it's something when Bold and the Beautiful triggers the algorithm for me, because usually if I start out with Y&R, it stays low. It doesn't hit 100 or more until Bold topic comes up. So I find that interesting. So maybe they heard us start off with Bold and said, "Ooh, let's send the Bold people over here." But that's fine.
I think it depends on the type of storylines, because everyone's talking about this episode right here on Y&R. So maybe that's what they're gearing up for, because it's definitely none of these episodes for Bold this week.
Yeah, I gotcha. All right. This whole episode was all about Sharon. Sharon Case knocked it out the park. There were a lot of holes in this story. And it starts off, Bree, where we left off yesterday, which was Heather trying to figure out how Sharon got in that apartment.
Yeah. Well, actually, the beginning of the episode, like we were talking yesterday, where how it starts off like ID channel, Lifetime, where we see this woman on the bridge.
Yep.
And then it was just very eerie, very like Law and Order. But yeah, Heather walks in and she's like, "How did you get into my house?" And then you got Sharon trying to backtrack and say like, "Oh well, Daniel wanted me here. Like I shouldn't have to explain myself. Like you can like he wanted to talk to me in this." And she's like, "No, I spoke to my husband and I spoke to my daughter there, not El Jardino, they're at GCAC, and they're about to have dessert. Like, what are you doing here?"
Yeah, all kind of lies. She even said that the super let her in too. And I'm like, girl, you do realize you're switching up your story
in front of a lawyer.
Exactly. And that's what Sharon was like, "I don't want to be interrogated. I'm acting like I'm on an interrogation stand." And she was like, "You will be if you don't give me the truth."
Exactly. And like she has options and you broke into somebody else's house.
Right. Yeah, this whole thing was crazy. Now, here's my issue with Heather. And we kind of talked about this last night, Bree, you know. But my issue with Heather is in semblance of what I said about Steffy in that alley. Now, the difference is, of course, we know Steffy chased and did all that stuff when it comes to Sheila Carter. Sharon was about to leave. Heather stopped her and was going through this whole confrontation and all this. You see, this girl is unhinged. She's not the Sharon that you normally see. My opinion, maybe it could have saved her life if she let that girl walk on out the door and then start calling folks. Get her out of your house and then call, you know, Daniel or Nicholas or somebody or the police or whoever. But for you to sit up there and argue with this woman, it took Sharon and that picture on the second row to the right when Sharon starts screaming at the top of her lung like she was literally out of her mind. That's the moment that I think Heather realized she was in over her head.
I would actually take it a little step before that. What gets me is she called Daniel and then she ended the call. Like she should have kept that phone call like going so somebody can hear that conversation, because that woman was already crazy enough to break into the house. You don't know what she has on her.
Right.
Like anything could have happened, but more importantly, she called Daniel.
Right.
I would have kept that phone on so somebody can hear it. But I also agree with you that she should have let that woman go, because like all she had to do was like say like, "Hey, Sharon has left. She broke into the house. this, and this happened. And if she wanted to call Nick, then, that would have been a whole other thing there too, because they're out looking for Sharon.
Exactly.
But let this woman go. I understand you want to try to prove something. You don't have to prove much. All they have to do is just take, like, hey, this woman broke into the house. Mm-hmm. And they have to go and investigate. And not Steffy, but Sharon's story knows it wouldn't add up, because she already told a lie about her being out of town, that her family doesn't know where she's been at, that, like, case closed. Let that woman go.
Exactly. I mean, you spotted her. You know what? Here's the thing. She committed breaking and entering. So even if, she didn't find the poison on her and things like that, you could still get her in on the breaking and entering part. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So she should have instead of talking about, I'm going to protect my family and you're not going anywhere. I'm like, don't let crazy have to tell you more than once. I mean, Steffy, like I say about Steffy and Sheila in that alley, Sheila told her to let her go 4 times, and she didn't listen. I'm telling you, Sharon tried to walk out that house twice, and she didn't want to do it. And they got into this whole tussle. She hit the floor. Now, that takes us to this other part where she hit the floor. Heather woke up, and then everything went black. And then now she's completely out with a bump on the head, bleeding. And Sharon wakes up on the couch. So I'm wondering if they're leaving a loophole, because there's a lot of options to this. Actually, maybe this all went the way that it went. This could be a dream or something else. I don't know. But go ahead, Bree.
I honestly don't think this is a dream, because, and that's why I want to see Friday's episode so badly. I'm counting the hours until that uploads. But I think something had happened to Heather. I don't think they would go this elaborate with this episode to the point where she's driving to a bridge and she's pulling down a whole body down the stairs and dumping the body over the bridge. Like, no. For me, I cannot see it being a dream. Otherwise, like, this is a very detail-oriented dream. And plus, I don't think she would want it to be Heather. I think she would want it to be Daniel, since that was her original intent. I don't think she intended to harm or hurt Heather at all.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Jan said, don't they have an elevator? I don't think most people use the elevator in a high-rise building. So her bringing a body down the elevator and coming through a front lobby, I don't think that's going to work out well. So you probably...
My issue...
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, like, my issue is, like, where are the cameras? It's 2024. People don't have cameras in their house anymore.
You would think. I mean, there should be cameras on the back of the building. There's cameras in the street areas. There's cameras. There should be cameras everywhere. You would think that there's some cameras around there. And the other thing, she turned around and went back in the building to clean up. So she went back in the building, back into the apartment, and got the bottle. Bree, you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay. Got the bottle. She got the phone. She took the bleeding rag. She cleaned up the floor. She did a lot while, of course, the body was in the back of her car. Went back downstairs, drove to that river at night, and you dumping the body with a headlight on. That was the other thing. I'm like, you do realize you're on the side of a road with the headlight with a big old something in your hand. Somebody driving past could see you.
Which is why, like, that to me, like, little details like that, I'm like, she really did this. This is cold-blooded. The fact that you covered up all the evidence, and this is what I was talking about yesterday. I think we talked about this privately. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was thinking is that she should have just left Heather there and let it be like someone had broke in or something.
Mm-hmm.
But she went the extra mile to cover up the body in a rug and drag it down the stairs and clean up the evidence. Like, she went through a lot of detail to cover up everything. And as far as we know, this is cold-blooded. It's really what.
Okay, so Aisha just dropped this in the chat. I missed this. She said there were 2 dots left behind on the floor. I gotta go back and look.
Me too.
She said that
was it towards the end of the episode?
Aisha Jackson. Was that at the end when Sharon walked out the door for the final time, right when she cut the lights off? At what point do you remember seeing the 2 dots on the floor?
Right. Or was it while she was dragging Heather down the stairs and then she was cleaning it up and then she closed the door? Was it then? But I think you're right, T. I think it might have been when she grabbed the purse and like the suitcase or the little travel bag and was putting everything in that bag. Oh my gosh! Yes, there was.
You remember? Did you see it? Did you have a picture?
I can take a screenshot. Well, I can go back to. Well, we both can go back to the episode, but it's right before she left for the final time. You had it right.
So it's 2 dots of blood on the floor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's cooked. She's cooked.
She's cooked. And this is why I say it's important to get some cameras in your house. But Devon better have some cameras around in that building. Like if I'm Daniel and I paid a lot of money for that apartment, like there better be cameras surrounding inside the building, outside the building to protect your residents.
Okay,
there should be no way.
So Jan says forensics would be able to determine that blood was there. So you know, if you watch SVU and some of the other Law and Orders, they couldn't cut the light off and use this fluorescent spray or something to see if there was a blood spill or splatter in that house.
Yeah. So, well, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of technical stuff they can use nowadays. But Sharon's footprints, because she didn't clean up the whole house. Sharon was all through that entire house, the kitchen, over by the bar, the dining room, everything. Well, and then on top of that, she was laying on the couch. She could have been drooling on the couch.
Jenna, she cleaned up the broken glass. She emptied the garbage where the broken glass was.
Yeah, and she took it with her.
Yeah,
she sure did.
Yeah,
she took the bottle with her. She took Heather's purse with her. She put it in a little carry-on bag, like the towels, everything. She thought she covered everything up, but not everything. But on top, like Sharon's footprints, like she was all throughout that house, and on top of that, she was laying on the couch. They could find a strand of Sharon's hair on the couch.
That is correct. Exactly. Who was that? Myra. Luminol is what it's called.
Okay.
Yeah. And they spray with luminol, and then they use special lights to find blood splatters. Yep. And like you just said, Bree, what if she left hair on the couch? Or hair is there, blonde hair, or whatever. And they test that hair, and that hair belongs to Sharon. And they find the 2 blood dots, and the fact that she's missing. Sharon better, if this all happened like we think it did, Sharon better hope that body doesn't wash up on the bank or whatever, the river bank.
I honestly feel this is definitely not a dream, especially since Christina's coming back. But this is, she then took away Paul's only daughter. So Paul only has one living child, and that's Dylan, and that's it. This is insane to me. Like, it did not need to go this way. Like, And the thing is, when she walked into Daniel's house, she had intent to unalive. She had the intent. She broke in and she had intent to unalive. And just because she had a change of heart doesn't take away the intent. And then she went through all of this and it ended up taking somebody's life. So she's cooked.
There's a good question in the chat. Did Sharon throw the bag? Veronica Anderson, did Sharon throw the bag in the water because the cell phone was there? I saw her throw Heather. I didn't see her. What did she do with that bag of items?
She didn't dump that in the water either.
But she got back to the motel with nothing in her hands. So
it must be in her car still.
Which is stupid. You gonna leave a bloody sheet in your car with phones and all types of other stuff, broken glass and empty alcohol bottles, all in a bag. You gonna leave that in the car?
Yeah, this is the same woman. We didn't know how she got the poison to begin with. Mm-hmm. She don't never know where she is half of the time. This is Sharon, cuckoo Sharon. But yeah, she took everything, but I think she just left that in the car, because we also got to keep in mind nobody knows where she's at. So she was probably like, okay, I'm just gonna leave it in here. But even still, somebody could keep trying to call her phone. That's what we're saying yesterday. You can GPS track if the phone is still on, to see where that and put the timelines together. If they see Sharon's phone was there around the same time Heather's phone, they can put those coordinates together and say okay, we need to check what's going on with Sharon, because she was around Heather around the time that she was missing.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, one person that was proud of her was Cameron. I guess she was proud of herself. But that whole thing, I don't think she's going to be able to successfully, with the 2 dots that's left behind, the chance that she left her own DNA behind, all of that, yeah, it's going to be a whole problem.
Yeah, this isn't squeaky clean. If anyone's seen the show The Blacklist, she would need experts to clean up after an unaliving scene, and to the T. But no, this right here, she even left they're gonna find strands of her hair or some sort of DNA on that couch.
Yep, I agree. They're gonna find something. It just doesn't make any sense that she thinks that she's gonna get away with this scot-free.
Oh no. What? No. There's too much technology. There's too much just police wise, they can try to narrow it down and find out who it is. But at the same time, this is Genoa City PD.
Yeah.
So she might get away with this. Sad but true. But she needs to be underneath the jail. She had intent to unalive from the get-go when she broke into that house.
Exactly. She sure did. So, go ahead.
And it could have been Daniel, it could have been Lucy, or it could have been Heather. Now, this is not the route that she wanted to take. And that was another thing I wanted to point out yesterday, because she even talked herself, into oh my God, what if Lucy drinks? She had a history of breaking into her family's liquor cabinet and drinking. And what if Heather takes a sip? Oh, maybe I should stop this. So she has, so some part of her brain is thinking how we were thinking as the audience. But I don't know. But whatever happened when she blacked out, maybe a completely different side to her. Maybe this is part of her bipolar disorder, because the way they faded in and out, where she blacked out, maybe that's part of her disorder, where it was a completely manic side. I wonder if we're going to see some scenes later down the line where we see what she did. I think by the time like things zero in and close in on her, then she's gonna have her memory back and be like, "Oh my God, I didn't mean to do this. This just such and such happened."
Yep. I'm curious to find out how this is. I'm looking forward to seeing what tomorrow's episode is going to look like. It should hopefully be out in the next couple of hours, I hope, so I can get a chance to see it, to see what happens now, you know. So it was a good episode. Hey, you guys in the chat, what would you grade it? A through F. What would you grade it?
This was an A+ for me.
Yeah, let me put my grade in there. Hold on. A plus. Okay, there we go. There. I wanted to put my grade in there because normally it has been lackluster earlier this week because we didn't know what the end goal was going to be. I will say that this is probably Sharon Case's Emmy Reel episode.
Without question.
Yep. I can see her getting a nomination for this.
Yep, without question. This is great. This is incredible work on her part. Really, this is the highlight of her storyline. Let me say this.
Yep. And I'm excited to see what happens next. I guess that we needed this little bit of a boost in this storyline to actually get interested in it.
And this makes me, I have so many questions for Friday's episode. But this is what we were talking about when it came to, like, why did they loop Adam in to this?
Right. I'm wondering if he's going to have something to do with it.
I think he's going to end up helping her.
Probably so.
Something tells me.
Yep. I'm looking forward to it. All right. We're going to end it there. Thanks, Bree, for coming on today. Yay!
And I was so excited to chat with everybody, with T, with the Soapies. Like, I had to get a lot of this off of my chest. I cannot wait for Friday's episode.
Me either. So we got to stay tuned and listen. I might be hitting you up later. If it's something crazy, I'll be like, Bree, did you see it yet?
Yep. I'm on, and I'll be on standby.
All right, you guys, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your notifications so you're notified every time a video is posted. I am T, and of course we had our girl Bree on the line today. And until the next one, we'll see you all soon, Soapies. Bye.
Bye, guys.